Hi everyone, Nama speaking, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to make another Danganronpa video. Listen, I was going to make a Fire Emblem video like I said I would. But then, I realized that this month was the only opportunity I had to make a video about this topic. Happy Pride Month everyone! You read the title, you know what we're gonna do. We're ranking every single Danganronpa character based on how gay I think they are. This is certainly not the first time this video idea is done, but I wanted to give it a go myself because, trust me, I have opinions. And it's also a good excuse to talk about some of my favorite games again. But before we get to that, disclaimers. This video is going to contain spoilers for all of Danganronpa, pretty much no exceptions. The character chapters will be in the description as well as the video bar, so you can skip ahead if you don't want to see something about a specific character. Furthermore, the video is divided in sections regarding the games, so if you haven't played one in particular but want to see the rest of the video, you can also do it that way. Also, don't take this video too seriously, this is mostly done as a joke, and it won't be entirely accurate to what the characters actually are in the series or confirmed. I will mention when I am aware that a character's canon sexuality does not match what is said in the video, but I would still recommend that you take everything said here with a grain of salt. Lastly, the video is going to be in a tier list format. Why? Well, for convenience and because they get more views, wait what? But at any point you are enjoying the video, you can show your support by liking and subscribing. Listen, I don't really like doing subscription blogs and stuff, but it really does help with the algorithm and it lets me know that you want to see more videos like this one. Please, this take a lot of time to make, I haven't played Tomodachi Life in 3 weeks. With all that said, we can begin explaining the tiers. Alright, so we're keeping things simple this time and we're dividing the list into 6 tiers. First are the two obvious ones, homosexual and heterosexual. The heterosexual tier is pretty self-explanatory, but the gay one is a bit more complex. In reality, it's more so an LGBTQI+ tier, but well, that doesn't look as good in the video title, does it? So basically, anything that would date the same gender goes here. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, you name it. Now, as any queer person will tell you, those aren't the only two options. There is a secret, third, evil thing. I also added an asexual tier because putting them in the gay tier would not really make sense and there's enough characters here that I felt it was warranted. Finally, we have the maybe tier, for characters that could realistically swing either way, but it's hard to determine. And at $20 is $20 tier. Because we can't let the fucking mean die, can we? This is for the characters that are almost certainly not gay, but have little to no sense of dignity, so they would tongue kiss Mikan anyway. With all that out of the way, let's begin with the Danganronpa 1 cast. Makoto Naegi is the textbook definition of a quirked up white boy goated with the sauce. And while this would automatically make him gay in many people's mind, he still somehow manages to be straight by virtue of how much of a default high school anime protagonist he is. Listen, we stand Naegi on this channel, but he's still going to the straight tier. Byakuya Togami, on the other hand, is a fucking menace! This motherfucker lives on undertale short compilations and Sigma Male Spotify podcasts like it's his actual lifeblood. I don't even want to get into if he's gay or not. He's going straight into homophobic and please keep him away from me. Genocide Jill is also a homophobe, but the funny kind, like the homophobic dog. I don't think she's as committed to it as Byakuya though. She probably doesn't have anything in particular against gay people, but she is absolutely dropping the F-slur in the god lobby after losing her kill streak. But it's okay, she can say it. To every yin, there is a yang, and to Jill's rampant homophobia, there is Toka's unbridled homosexuality. This is a lesbian if I've ever seen one. And believe me, if you've played All for the Spirit Girls, you would know. But then again, I would never recommend anyone touch that game with a 10-foot pole, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Chihiro! Hifumi Yamada is straight, and I mean that in the most derogatory way possible. He's the type of motherfucker to type "Awooga" in a girl's Instagram story. Every time I see a Reddit post with the word "Milady," I read it in this guy's voice. The only redeeming quality to this man is that he doesn't call women female, but we're really scratching the bottom of the barrel here. Straight! Aoi is a character I don't really see a lot of people talk about, so I have no clue what the general perception of this character is. Still, to me, I've always thought she was a little bit gay, but nothing crazy, so I'm throwing her in the maybe tier. Her actions on Chapter 4 could very easily be considered as mad desperate lesbian, but we'll get to that in the Sakura section. Following Asahina, we have Leon, who I think has no principles whatsoever. This is the only character in Danganronpa I believe deserves the full extent of the term performative male. The only reason there is not a Labubu strapped on his belt is because they weren't a thing yet. Damn, this game is old. Not only did this guy try to switch his talent twice just to get any minuscule amount of play, but he's also trying to shoot his shot at anything female in a 12-mile radius. So yeah, he's straight. But he's going to $20 is $20 because he would absolutely pretend to be gay if he got him even the slightest chance with a girl. Asexual Kyoko believers, rise up! We are not resting until it is confirmed in canon. Yeah, you heard me. Wait for the reveal in Danganronpa 1x1, like a dragon, or something. To be honest, the only thing that surprised me is that there are people who don't share this headcanon, but this is my grain of sand to spread the truth to the Danganronpa fandom. Mondo Owara. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't like Celestia as a character, and this is absolutely gonna affect my ranking of her. She's rude, she's mean, and she stole Kasane Teto's flow bar for bar. All qualities that have gathered her no small amount of fans, but that won't stop me from putting her in homophobic. She seems the type of person to go on about the traditional family values and post the modern nuclear family memes unironically, and even if she's not homophobic, she would still absolutely say something homophobic just to make herself look better, or hell, even just for the love of the game. You could also argue for $20 is $20, but I'm biased. Next on the list is Yasuhiro. Hey guys, Editor Name here. I was originally going to explain that Yasuhiro is a strength. I had finished writing, recording, and editing that section, when my brother, a way more invested Danganronpa 1 fan, pointed out that he should go into $20 is $20. And I was like, what, why? And he was like, yeah, you know, because of his debt and how he's always trying to get money out of Makoto. What debt? So, guess who didn't see any of Yasuhiro's free time events and largely ignored him during the runtime of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc? This is my official apology. But unfortunately, I would need to re-record the entire tier list footage to correct that mistake, so I'm gonna have to politely ask that you ignore him in the straight tier and pretend he's in the correct tier. Editor Name out. Sayaka is a complicated case. There seems to be a thing with idols getting stabbed on chapter 1, so this character has like 3 minutes of screen time tops. We don't really get a chance to know her, but let me say this. If you think her relationship with Makoto proves her heterosexuality, hey, look up, it says gullible on the ceiling. I should put her in maybe, but the lesbian vibes are way too strong and there is nothing to say otherwise, so she's going in the gay tier. Following Sayaka, we have Sakura, who I can say with a lot of certainty is straight. We know that she is attracted to men, so that already rules out lesbian. But how can I say that she is not bi, you ask? Well, you see, my dear viewer, because Sakura has utterly immaculate game. If this woman wanted to pull any of the chicks in her class, she would have done so already. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, why didn't she pull any guys? Simple, it's because they're all terrible. Too straight she goes. Let's address the elephant in the room. I don't think I'm breaking any new ground saying Kiyotaka is gay. This is like the default vanilla flavored Danganronpa headcanon, and there's a reason why. You've heard of slow burn enemies to lovers, but Mondo and Taka only had 2 chapters to make it happen, so they had to get the world record for the fastest gay romance in fiction. Let's review their history. They meet, hate each other for 2 days, go into a room together, get naked, spend the night there, refuse to answer questions, become best friends forever, and when Mondo dies, Taka gets a dead wife flashback so strong that he unlocks Dragon Install Moon Prism Tower Super Saiyan 2 and fuses with the personality of his dead husband. Need I say more? But then, would this also prove that Mondo is gay? Well, you see, my dear viewer. Finally, let's get the 2 obvious ones out of the way. Junko and Monokuma are going into homophobic. I don't think I need to explain this one at all. And those were all of the Danganronpa 1 characters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, give it up for Danganronpa 2! Woo! Personally, this is the list I was most excited to talk about. Gee, I wonder why. So let's not lose any time and get straight into it. No matter how straight they try to make him, Hajime Hinata will always be gay. I'm sorry, I don't care how many he awkward scenes there are with the female characters, this man has an unwavering commitment to liking men. And that can't be changed. Homosexual it is. It's Hajime, what did you expect? Nagito Komaeda. Nagito fucking Komaeda. I have already gone to great lengths to spread my Komaeda agenda, but I'm not about to stop now. Nagito plays in a whole different league. This is LeBron James in a dunking competition against 5-year-olds. And
what you need to understand about Nagito is that he's gayer than actually confirmed homosexual characters. Do you honestly think that two honest-to-God heterosexual men say things like this to each other? I'm sorry, but homosexual does not got it. This guy going in his own tier. Alright, so for some reason, when I first wrote the script, I was going to put Ibuki on $20 is $20, but while reading it again, I remember that she's the character that says this. I don't know what possessed me that day. I first wrote the video, but no, she's gone with the lesbians. Next up, everyone give a round of applause for the first of, surprisingly few, canonically homosexual characters! The thing about Mikan is that she's not just gay, she's gay. Almost competitively so. While admittedly falling for Junko Enoshima is terrible taste, it does not detract from her merits as Danganronpa's second most terrifying lesbian. Even if her game is not as insane as Nagito's, she still absolutely demolishes everything in homosexual tier, so she's getting her own tier. For now. We started off the Danganronpa 2 cast pretty strong, but now it's time to talk about Kazuichi Soda. I know some of you ship him with Gunnan, and I get it, I truly do. I have my own, impossible, absolutely not canon ship, I desperately try to manifest into reality. But I just don't see it with these two, especially with the whole thing Gundam and Sonya have going on, which seems to be mutual. And that's without mentioning that Soda does Soda things. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but no man that stinks this bad can go into anything but straight. Who's next? Fuck, we gotta talk about this guy. Teruteru is a confirmed bisexual, meaning most of mankind is not safe from this man. I'm putting him in the gay tier, not out of respect, but out of obligation, and please keep him away from me. Also, this would be a good time to mention that, for the record, I'm recording this before Danganronpa 2x2 comes out, so if Teruteru has a crazy redemption arc in that game and ends up becoming a feminist and a human rights activist or some shit, I'm sorry, but not really. Moving on from the least woke character to possibly the most, Mahiru! I can realistically see her swinging either way. If anything, I'm more inclined to say bisexual, but I'm putting her in the maybe tier just in case. I feel like I would be able to say a lot more about her if she wasn't flattened by an amble in chapter 2, but I really hope we get to see more of her in the future. Please make her the Danganronpa 2x2 protagonist, please make her the Danganronpa 2x2 protagonist, please make her the Nekomaru Nidai fucks with women! I feel this is the only character we can all agree on with him being straight, right? Right. Moving on!
Well, that changes things. The ultimate imposter, or Byakuya Togami, if you will, is also another first victim, so we have little to nothing to go off of. But based on vibes alone, I'm gonna say they're probably ace. I don't have anything to back this claim other than I just know it in my heart. Okay, so Fuyuhiko and Peko just seem so straight to me, I can't really think of them as anything else. Obviously they have a romantic relationship with each other, but that's not really why I'm saying this. Out of every character in Danganronpa 2, these two are the only ones I don't remember saying something, at the very least, a little gay, which is quite an achievement given how out of pocket this game can get at times. Either way, they make a cute couple, so I'm putting them in straight together. And speaking of couples, let's get the easy one out of the way first. Sonya is heterosexual. I don't think I need to defend my stance on this one, but Gundam, he's complicated. On one hand, he does seem to be in love with Sonya, but on the other, he could very easily be bisexual and please just look at this man. Every fiber of my being is telling me he's aroused, but that just isn't the case? Man, I don't know. Gundam fans, please enlighten me in the comments, I really have no idea. Akane is going to $20 is $20. I think there's little reasonable doubt that this woman is straight after 40% of her dialogue is thirsting after Nekomaru. But she would absolutely go on a date with Ibuki just out of commitment to the bit, or just to get free dinner really. Chiaki is very puzzling to me, which is weird since she gets the second highest amount of screen time and her love life is, surprisingly, plot relevant. I've always kind of seen her as third wheeling Nagito and Hajime, but she's probably in love with Hajime, so I'm not really sure. I'm leaning more towards straight because of the anime, but on the other hand, if you haven't noticed yet, I don't particularly care much for what the anime has to say about this topic. To be fair, Chiaki kissing a girl will not be the wildest thing ever, so I think maybe it's appropriate. Alright, sweet, now it's time to shit talk one of my favorite characters. I personally never found Hiyoko to be annoying or anything. I don't think she necessarily means a lot of the rude things she says. I truly believe there is no malice in her heart. But, as much as it pains me to say it, she would absolutely say the F-slur with no hesitation or regrets. I'm forced to put her into homophobic even though I don't want to. That about wraps up all of the Danganronpa 2 characters. Now strap in because things are about to get a lot more queer from here. Yes, even more than before. Somehow, Danganronpa 3 looked at 2, one of the gayest games of all time, and went, nah, I can do better. And it did! Also, small disclaimer, I'm not taking into account the love hotel scenes, because A, they suck, and B, that will make the entire rest of the video.
According to my calculations, I have scientifically determined that Shuichi and Kokichi are gay because they fucked.
And do you really wanna watch that? Let me start off by saying that the romantic tension between Miu, Kaede, and Shuichi during chapter 1 was absolutely unreal. Like, I'm not the only one seeing a love triangle here, right? None of these motherfuckers are straight, and I can prove it. Firstly, Miu-Ruma. Every good tragedy has that one character who's in an impossible love with one of the protagonists. But it's also massive bonus points if it's doomed Yuri as well. She is a bisexual diva, and while some people think she's just as bad as Teruteru, they just don't understand her like I do, completely miss the point of her character, and are just completely wrong for real. Yeah, she's my favorite character, how could you tell? Anyway, Kaede is also a bisexual. Despite being another chapter 1 death, she wastes no time making it known she's an absolute girl-kissing machine. She's the type to look at a twink and say, I'm gonna get him pregnant. It probably helps that we experience the entirety of chapter 1 with her, instead of having 5 minutes of screen time to go off of. Shuichi is of course the aforementioned twink in question, and you're never gonna guess what I think his sexuality is. Yes, actually pulling a chick is the most heterosexual behavior we've seen so far, but in the same break, have you played Danganronpa 3? If Shuichi came out as trans, they would ask him which way. And that's without mentioning that the amount of bisexual aura coming off this man is absolutely mental. I'm putting him in maybe just because I can't definitely say otherwise, but I know what he is. Now, I need you to take a deep breath, and stay with me here for a second. Forget everything you know about Danganronpa fandom, and answer, is Kaito gay? Just think about it for a second. How many times does Kaito actually act gay or say something gay? Like, just a few, right? I'm not saying the vibes are not there, but I can't justify putting him in the same tier as Hajime. He's going to maybe.
Konta Gokuhara, Mr. Gentleman himself, and honorary lesbian as determined by the official committee. To me, Gonta is just a chill, average, straight dude, but a big ally at that. All in all, pretty cool guy. Good on you, Gonta. Except the whole killing Miu-Ruma thing, but whatever. For me personally, I've always seen Kirimi as asexual. I don't think she would be opposed to the idea of a romantic partner, but she's absolutely not down to clown on the sheets. Not much else to say really, she's just truly above that stuff.
Himiko.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher?
Lesbian. Look at this image. Not a single character in this image is straight, and quite frankly, I'm 2 fanfiction chapters away from claiming their role in a polykill.
Tenko is the main instigator of homosexuality in Danganronpa 3, and I love her for it. We've had no small amount of lesbians so far, but what we really needed was a proper, honest-to-God, disaster lesbian. In a world where people try to argue Hajime is straight, having a character that says things like this openly is a breath of fresh air, honestly. Even if she's a little bit annoying at times. She, and she alone, gets to slay in the turbo mega lesbian tier with Mikan. So I want to make this very clear. By putting Angie in gay, I'm not trying to say that being a hippie, spiritual, crystal girl in an all-female club is necessarily homosexual. I'm just heavily implying it.
Before we discuss Kibo, we need to address the elephant in the room. Him being a robot does not mean that he can't be attracted to someone. I mean, just look at Aigi's personal traits. I'm saying all of this because I'm not gonna put him in Ace for being a robot, I'm putting him in an Ace for being the most asexual man on earth. To be more specific, I think he's probably both aromantic and asexual, but I'm not making a whole new tier for him since I'm having trouble fitting everyone on screen as is. When I first had the idea for this video, I was straight up dreading writing about Kokichi. He's probably the second most contentious character in the topic of sexuality, but unlike Nagito, I have no strong feelings about him either way. Fortunately, I remember I don't have to make a statement on him, because I can just put him in the homophobic tier and move on.
Alright, confession time! I have not done a single one of Maki's free time events, so I may be entirely wrong on this one. I think Maki is straight, at the very least, closeted bisexual. To my understanding, Kaito is the first person she's attracted to, like, ever. So there's still a long road ahead, but trust me guys, Maki will return in Danganronpa before it comes out tomorrow. Trust.
Another chapter 1 death, another random vibe-based guess using my malfunctioning gator. What can I say about Rantaro? He likes balls. You name it, basketballs, footballs, volleyballs, shot put balls. We really have a ball.
I do not have the balls to say that he only likes balls, or that he wouldn't go bowling with a girl.
Balls.
Love them balls.
Can you tell I have nothing to say about this character? I'm putting him in maybe just because it feels correct in my heart. Korikiyo is another character whose love life is plot relevant. And God, I wish it wasn't. If I had a nickel for every time a Danganronpa character dramatically revealed their sexuality after going on a double whammy kill streak on chapter 3, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's the same amount of people Mikan kill. His case, however, is a lot less exciting since there's no Doom Yuri to go along with it, and instead just a word I'm not sure I can say on YouTube. Yes, Korikiyo could be pansexual, but me personally, I think he's just straight. Next up, Ryoma! Look, I know I have provided little explanation aside from trust me bro for the characters in the asexual tier, but you have to believe me, Ryoma is asexual! Again, this is entirely a headcanon, but one I feel so strongly about I'm willing to put it out on the internet and get killed over it. They could never have made me hate Yuzumugi Shirogane. This is my comfort character and I get to say she's lesbian. Besides, in canon she's the writer for Danganronpa, so she's responsible for Tenko's character and possibly even Nagito Komaeda's. If that is not enough to convince you, I don't know what is. You can find me about this in the comments. She's going with the lesbians.
And with that, we have objectively, scientifically determined the gayness of every single Danganronpa character. Thanks a lot for watching through to the end, and if you have your own tier list, feel free to share it down below in the comments. Before we close the video, I would like to talk about why I haven't uploaded in 6 months. This channel for me has been a little bit more of a hobby, but I always intended to make long-form content just like this one. It really is exciting for me to release my first long-form Danganronpa video, hopefully the first of many. Now, as to why I haven't been able to upload as consistently, medicine school entrance exams. But it's okay, I passed them, one of them to be precise, and now I have more time to make stupid videos like this one. For now. But anyway, for as long as it lasts, I hope to keep making videos just like this one. So if you don't want to miss them, remember to like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment if you want. I'm Name, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching.